this week, obviously. Very excited about the opportunity that we have. It's a great football team we're getting ready to play. Possibly the best team in the country. There's no question. They got, a top 3 offense, top 3 defense, and, explosive players at every position. And, going to be a huge challenge. Got a Heisman quarterback candidate, guy's playing as good as anybody in the country. And, you throw all that on top of it, the fact it's a division game. So this is what it's all about. It's a great challenge for both teams. And I know everybody will be excited to get the game here so we can get it going. But for us, it's the biggest game of the year. Just like last week was the biggest game of the year. Just like next week will be the biggest game of the year. They're all big. Some have special circumstances attached to them like this one. But, come Monday, Maryland will be the biggest game of the year. When it's not, y'all let me know. Let me know when it's not the biggest game of the year, and I might feel better. But that's just our mentality. And so got to have a great week of preparation, as always, to get ready for a very tough matchup, one that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Offensively for them, they're very explosive, very balanced. They've got about the same amount of rushing touchdowns they do passing touchdowns. Play a lot of guys. The offensive line is easily the best, most athletic that we've played. Very physical, very well coached. They do a great job with those guys. The quarterback is special. I mean, I know he's listed as a redshirt freshman, but he doesn't look like a freshman. He looks like a full-grown man to me. He's a great player, very accurate, very poised, and so far has answered every call that he's had, every test. Big challenge with him. He can make plays with his legs and his arm. The tight end is very involved. Has made a ton of plays for them. Their receivers, they always have great skill. And, the 3 main guys that they got are as good as we're going to play. They all do a great job of getting open. They do a great job of yards after the catch. They're physical blocking. So this is a really good group of talented receivers. And then the running backs, just flip a coin. They're all great players. They'll all play on Sunday. And, the thing I think they do a good job of is they keep them fresh. They do a good job of rotating those guys in there, and, they're fresh for 4 quarters. So we're going to have to do a good job of stopping the run. Obviously didn't do a good job of that last year, and that was a big factor in the game. Defensively, very well coached. I've known Jeremy Pruitt a long time. We were at Alabama together. I was coaching when he came in there as a player, and then he was a student coach for us for a little bit. And, he's done an outstanding job. Very well coached. They're fast and athletic, just like, you think about all Florida State defenses. And, it's going to be a big challenge because their secondary is the best we've played. And so, it's just a matchup. They don't try to trick you. They line up, and if you can beat them, you got to make plays. And this is a playmaker's game. So, big challenge for our receivers in making plays, big challenge for our quarterback, because there's going to, you're not going to have guys running wide open. There's going to be tight windows, tight contested catches, and Taj is going to have to play a great game. Our offensive line versus their defensive line is going to be another key matchup, as it is every week. But in particular, they're very big and physical inside, got good speed coming off the edges. Their linebackers are athletic, so it's just a very balanced football team with I don't see any weaknesses. Special teams, they're dangerous, very dangerous. Obviously last year they had the big kick return on us. That was the play that really, I thought, turned the whole game, created the momentum that they needed, and we couldn't turn it back in the 4th quarter. So we got to do a better job in the kicking game, and their skill is very, very good at the return positions. But at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. 2 great teams. We got a pretty good team too. And, you got 2 good teams going at it with a lot on the line. And, this is why you're in college football. This is why you do it right here, to as a player and a coach to be a part of games like this. And that's one of the things that I hope that people just know, that if you come to Clemson, first of all, you're going to play in a packed house. Whether we are here at home or whether we're on the road, people are going to show up to see Clemson play. Secondly, when you play here at Clemson, you're going to get everybody's best shot. That should be the norm. That's where I want this program to be. And then the third thing is you're going to play in games like this. You're going to have an opportunity to play on this type of stage. So great opportunity. And it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, most of the schools designate a game, and this is our particular game that we've designated, and so I'm excited about that and the awareness that we'll have a chance to bring to research against breast cancer. So with that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, you're playing at home. You're number 3 in the nation. Why do you think you're an underdog?
I can't answer that. I mean, I don't get into all that stuff. I have no idea. I guess whoever comes up with that stuff, I guess they think Florida State's better than we are. So, I mean, we've been underdog a lot. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask them that question. I guess they just look at them and they think they're a better team.
Can you use that as a motivation?
I don't think that really matters. I really don't. I mean, 2003 we were a pretty big underdog too. And, I think they were number 2 in the country at that time, and we weren't very good. So, I mean, yeah, I guess we were fired up and all that, but at the end of the day, it comes down to executing on the field. And this is a toss-up, if you ask me. This is a game that comes down to a few plays. This is just like the Clemson-Georgia game to start the season. You got 2 great teams that both want to win, that both have great aspirations. And in this particular case, heck, I mean, we're talking about trying to win a division. And this is a key game to try to win that next goal for us, and that's the Atlantic Division Championship. So, but as far as being a factor, whether we're an underdog or whatever, that has nothing to do with it. We know they're a great team. We got great respect for them. I know that they know that we're a good football team, and we got to just play well.
Is there an advantage to having already played a game similar as far as atmosphere, 8 o'clock Saturday night versus top 5 team? Florida State maybe hasn't had that kind of game. Is there an advantage for your guys that they've kind of been through a very similar atmosphere as what?
Well, I think your experience is always a factor for you. I definitely think that the fact that we've been in this type of setting here at home. They have a visual and they know what to expect from an environment standpoint, but same thing, the environment's not going to win the game. Players making plays, taking care of the football, executing at a high level, that's what's going to win the game.
Dabo, does the presence of Jameis allow them to do anything differently offensively than they did with Manuel?
Not really. I mean, they're just doing what they've always done. A lot of screens. They want to run the heck out of the football. A lot of play action. A good amount of drop back. I mean, they mix it up. Again, they're very balanced. They take their shots down the field. If you play off, they're going to throw it underneath you. A lot of crossing routes. They have quarterback runs built into what they do. A little bit of option, which is same things they were doing 4 years ago. Really not doing anything different. They just do a good job of what they do.
When you look at defense has been very solid this year. Is this going to be your toughest test? I know Georgia has a very good offense, but do you feel Florida State might be more explosive with a quarterback like Winston?
Well, I think the Georgia that we played, very similar. 2 great quarterbacks. I mean, Aaron Murray's pretty good. Gurley and Marshall were pretty good. Just like Wilder and Freeman and cats they got there. You can just kind of toss them up in the air. They're all great players. I think this offensive line is the best we've seen. I don't think there's any question about that. And, Georgia had great skill outside, although they lost one of them in our game that wasn't able to finish the game. But this is a very complete, very balanced team. And then you also, that was an opener. And we're going to have to play a whole lot better than we did in that game. That's game 1. This is game 7. So we're going to have to play a whole lot better than we did in game 1. And same thing, Florida State, it's just like Jameis. I mean, he's not a freshman. I know he's listed to that, but this guy's played some ball games now. And he's been on the road a couple times. He's had big expectations at home, and he hasn't been overwhelmed with anything. He's obviously a redshirt freshman, and Aaron Murray was a senior. But as far as looking at them and what both these offenses can do, both of them 2 of the top squads in the country offensively, from last year and coming into this year, and where they are right now. Now, obviously, Georgia's had some huge injuries that have affected them, but similar challenge.
How difficult is it to go up against him when he's able to extend plays the way you've seen him do that?
It's tough. I mean, because you do a great job of coverage, and you feel like you're in good shape. Next thing you know, he finds a rush lane, he runs for 15 yards. He can break a tackle. That's just like our guy. I mean, it's like going up against Taj Boyd. I mean, that's why you go recruit those kind of guys. Makes us all look like better coaches. Man, that was a bad play. Oh, good, yes. He's one of them oh no, oh yes guys. That's called recruiting. You can be in great position, do a good job, but you don't quite get off that block well enough, or that rush lane gets a little wide, and next thing you know, he's in space. He makes a linebacker miss because of the type of athlete that he is. It's a big play. You see it with number 10, we're our team all the time. I mean, how many times have we seen number 10 make plays with his legs when there wasn't anything there? That's why he's a great player, and so it's a big challenge.
Coach, do you have to have any conversation with Taj this week so he doesn't try to outstat Jameis or try to have prettier plays than Jameis?
No, he just got to do the things that we need him to do to win the game. He's a veteran guy. He knows it's not about him. He knows it wasn't about him and Aaron Murray. It's not about any of that. It's just about playing the game, trying to give yourself a chance to win. All the individual stuff, comes from great team success, and Taj understands that better than anybody. He's probably the least talked about superstar out there, just simply because of his nature. He's not going into this game worrying about what some other guy on another team does. He's going into this game trying to execute the plan that we've put in place and give his team a chance to win.
Because of how aggressive Florida State's secondary was with your receivers last year, and you expect they're going to do more of the same, how do you coach those guys in 1 week about how to handle that both physically and mentally? Well,
you don't coach them in 1 week. I mean, you coach them year round. We didn't do a good job. I mean, we made a lot of big plays on them. I mean, we had 500-something yards on them, but we gave up a ton to them, and we just couldn't slow them down. But we did some good things, but I thought as the game wore on, physically they won the matchup. And, we got to do better. And we're very capable of doing better. Sammy's kind of his first game back. I think he'd played about a half of one game, and then, he would go down there, and he wasn't quite into the speed of the game that night. And they did a good job with him. They're great. They got great players on that side of the ball. So, our guys got to do what they do. We work technique and releases and route running. It's what we do all year. It's not just, okay, this week let's work on these things. I mean, it's something we do every single day, all year long. And now you just got to go perform on game day.
You talked in the past about how you're very, very confident. Even in the 2010 season, you said before that you believe going in that you're going to win every game. Just that confident. How do you get the players to believe that? How do you get them to share that confidence, that level of confidence?
Well, it's just your culture. I mean, it's just everything that you do within your program. Everything. I mean, it's paying it's how you practice. It's paying the price. When you pay the price for something, and you're really prepared the right way, then you should be confident. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. We don't have arrogance. We have a humble confidence. But we've got good players. Our guys. It starts with an attitude of belief. I mean, you guys have to learn how to think the right way, and I think our guys have done a great job with that, and it's reflective in our consistency. And y'all have heard me say it many times. I've been ranked for 37 weeks or so in a row. We just won our 14th game in a row versus unranked opponents by double digits. That's consistency. You don't just do those things. We got a great streak of wins in the conference. This has been a very consistent football team for quite a while now. We've won a lot of ball games, and everybody still goes, well, yeah, but you lost the bowl game a couple years ago. Well, yeah, sure did. Sure did. We got our butts whipped, lost the ball game, wasn't pretty. Well, I think we've lost 2 games since then, and they were to 2 top 10 teams, fourth quarter type games. And so these guys, they don't hope to win, they expect to win. And again, that's a culture from how you talk to them, how you condition them, how you practice them, how you meet with them, all of those things. Everything goes into creating that attitude of belief. But ultimately, that's where it starts. If you don't truly believe in what you're doing and who you're doing it with, and that you have a chance to be successful, then you're not going to be. Not consistently. And our guys, they believe in how we practice, how we prepare, our formula for success. And guys have bought into that. Prepare with purpose, effort with technique, all-in commitment. Because when you do those things, when you prepare with purpose, you got attention to details. And when you give great effort but apply technique to it, you get execution. And when you've got great commitment, you got a chance to be consistent. And when you're playing to a standard and not an opponent, not a kickoff time or any of that stuff, then you can create the consistency in your program. And you got to have good players. And we've recruited really good players, and then you got to develop those players. So, that's where it starts.
So you would be surprised